pineapple. Looking very good, very nice. Good morning, 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 pineapple. Looking very good, very nice.
Good morning, pineapples. More cowbell.
Darn it, I was going to make that joke.
Oh, they were already making the joke in the chat. Everybody makes the joke.
I know it's like the most cliche joke to make ever, but
Yeah.
it's so good.
Stephanie, we are on Freedom Family Friday. We made it to Friday.
Yay!
Now, I'm going to do something I would never do ordinarily, but I am going to stand up and I'm going to adjust your camera because your beautiful face is slightly out of focus. All right, so just
Oh my gosh. Well, I just remembered we forgot to wear our sombreros today. I really wanted to wear our sombreros. We actually have some that we found in the attic from the previous owners of our house, and they're like humongous sombreros.
The sombrero meme has gone viral. Everybody's talking about sombreros today, and there have been so many incredible sombrero memes that have come out of the White House. Hold on, I got another one.
Hola, mi fellow Americanos, y bienvenidos al cierre de Schumer. That means welcome to the Schumer shutdown. We call it the Schumer siesta, right? It's the Schumer siesta. He put the government on siesta, crying Chuck. And El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries, we used to call him Dollar Store Obama, till we realized he's worth far less than $1. But they put the government on siesta to give illegal aliens your health care. We're not going to let it happen. I looked at both of them. I said, we're not going to let it happen. It's no bueno. I said, it's no bueno. They begged me. They said, but senor, por favor, please give illegal aliens the health care. I said, we're not going to do it. We're never going to do it. It's not going to happen.
Wow, that guy's really good.
Sean
with his
Farash.
Trump voice.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah. So, welcome to Freedom Family Friday. I'm Austin Petersen. I'm joined this morning by the most beautiful libertarian mom on the internet, my lovely wife, Stephanie Petersen.
Thank you. Hello.
And filling in for my brother Justin today, we've got the one and only Joe Trotter joining us on the show.
Another fellow redhead.
Yeah, and he's promised not to break anything unless it deserves it. So, the news is real, the cheese is fake, and the audience is way better looking than anybody watching The View. Pretty obvious.
Oh, that's a good one. Wow.
Now, look, I hope you're wearing something crunchy and brave, because today we're going to be diving headfirst into a pile of neon orange, chemically engineered controversy today. The top story this morning, cancel Netflix is trending after Elon Musk called for a conservative boycott over trans and LGBTQ plus themes in kids shows. If you thought children were just rotting their brains with Netflix cartoons, surprise, now they're getting a lecture on gender theory between episodes of Boss Baby. So,
Yeah.
cancel culture in reverse or actual accountability culture. We'll talk about that. We're going to look into this from every angle. We've got a very fiery bonus segment today. Very fiery.
I know, it's so fun.
A certain angry cheesy puff is going to make his breakfast theater debut.
Cheesy Poof.
Yeah, he's the cheesy poof himself is going to be here on the show today if we unlock the bonus content to defend artificial colors, processed food, and freedom in America itself. You don't want to miss this. It's an unhinged, gluten-free meltdown that he's going to have today. But how do we get to meet the little angry cheesy poof? We've got to unlock the bonus content. So how do we unlock the bonus content? You get 2 phases of bonus content. The first phase is if we raise $75 in Rumble Rants, that unlocks the 5-minute bonus content. If we get $100 in Rumble Rants or in purchases at the shop, those also count.
Or in subscriptions, right?
Subscriptions, yeah, gifted subs. Anything that comes in during the live show counts. And if we hit $100, then the angry cheesy poof will be on the show today to talk about the artificial dye banning craze. And that is going to be a great topic and a great discussion. So it's an incredible lineup today, and we couldn't do it if we didn't have friends like St. Louis SeaWorld Girl, Kermode Bear, Ike Giving a Shits, Southcott, Dad Bod Baboon, Relaxing McGroin, and Ike Giving a Shits, who given a shits.
We have a very special announcement that'll come today.
We do have a very special
exciting
announcement. But here's the thing. It's going to get posted on our social media in like 20 minutes. But Brad was really smart yesterday. And he said, let's not do it right at 7 a.m. because let's give people who watch and tune into the Wake Up America show live the first dibs to find out what the big announcement is.
So we're going to announce it before 7:30.
Yeah, we're going to announce it before 7:30. So it's in about 10 or 15 minutes. We'll make the announcement.
My heart is pumping. I'm so excited.
We've worked really hard on it, especially you, Stephanie, and it's something that we think really just has the potential to kind of help take us to another level with what we've been doing over here at the For Liberty Network. I see a lot of people already guessing at what it is. Some people think it's that we're going to Argentina. Some people think that, that
it's like a Milei gift box.
Or that Milei is going to adopt us as his children and turn it, no.
Or that we're cloning Hazel and having another baby.
Oh, yeah, another baby. And then we're going to name them Javier Milei. But,
oh, my gosh.
But no, you'll have to wait a little bit longer, but you'll get it before 7:30 this morning. You'll know it before anybody on socials does. Another good reason why you have to tune into this show live 5 days a week. Okay. We've got Trump declaring war on the cartels. I don't know if you saw this. Declaring them
I didn't.
Unlawful combats and invoking terrorism laws to hit them hard. So question for the audience. Is this a long overdue strike against the fentanyl pipeline, or is it another overreach from the executive branch? We're going to talk about the constitutional, the cultural implications, and Stephanie is going to keep me from grabbing the chainsaw maybe. So, and we're going to cover the rise of MAGA dating events like Make America Hot Again.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
We need it, man, because the young people they're not reproducing.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good looking conservative people.
Yeah. If you were a young man, and especially like New York City and DC, where these places are going, and you heard that a bunch of like hot conservative and libertarian women were getting together an event for dating, like that place would be full. Every time we watch these YouTube videos and they'll talk about like these dating, like speed dating events, and it's always these bitches complaining, no, I ain't the man. There's no men here. I spent all this money to come here and there's no men at these events. It's like, ladies, you're all libs. You're all lib turds.
Just go to a TPUSA event and you're going to find some very beautiful women and some nice skirts.
Just make sure you wear your body armor because...
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry I chose that one. But they're fine. Very good-looking women in TPUSA.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm just
Daniela Pensack was in TPUSA.
Yeah. I'm just saying wear your body armor because of the lip turds.
I know. It's so sad.
I'm not worried about the conservatives. Steven Crowder got shit from liberals over the internet from the fact that he was putting on body armor to go and speak. He was speaking on a conservative college campus, and the liberals were like, "You're on a conservative college campus. What are you worried about getting shot for?" And it's like, do you not know what time it is? You do understand? Like, there's no magical force field that prevents some Trantifa member from wandering on the campus and shooting people in the neck. So
I was just talking to my mom yesterday, and she's like, are you sure you want to go to, like, we're going to be going to Oktoberfest soon. And she's like, are you sure you want to go to that? You got to be very careful. There's a lot of people there. My mom is scared to like go out in public now.
I might be wearing lederhosen, but I'll still be strapped.
I'll be carrying something in my little dirndl.
One of the reasons that men like myself look forward to fall is we can wear trench coats so that we can carry the fun stuff underneath.
That's what a garter is for.
That's right. It's got so much hosen that he doesn't know what to leave.
We've got a lot of rants coming in.
We do. It looks like those guys, they want to see the angry cheesy poof. John and KC, Quest Fanning, thank you guys. Good morning.
Hi, John. Hi, Quest.
Cheesy poo.
Cheesy poofs.
Don't you want some cheesy poos?
Yeah, don't you want some cheesy poofs?
Yeah.
We're gonna have the cheesy poof live on our show this morning. If we hit that $100 bonus content, guys. So what I would do is I'd go to the Liberty shop, I'd go to the Griff shop, and I would make a purchase of our new come and take it sombrero hat. I don't know. Did you see the new product that the guys dropped?
I did.
Yes, so the new sombrero standoff tee, come and take it. You
Oh
can
my
see
gosh. That's funny.
over at the Griff shop.
And we're actually going to be doing a giveaway today. We can't tell you what it is yet, but we will be doing a giveaway by the end of the show.
We will be doing a giveaway. We have a happy giveaway. So you have to watch the whole show this morning.
So much excitement.
So much stuff, fun stuff
going
on.
I don't know why. My heart is just pounding. I'm just like, when you're excited about something, it's like...
And also a little nervous.
Yeah.
It's just...
Nervous to see how everything goes.
Yeah. Cat Dad asked, can Steffi use that voice all show? No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, hey. Well, that would be Kelvin.
Hey guys, it's Kelvin.
Yeah, I'm Kelvin.
I love cheesy poos.
So Kelvin's voice is very much like Cartman.
Yeah. Real quick, let's hit some headlines for those who care about news. Biggest headline right now is the government shutdown. 800,000 federal workers furloughed. National parks scaling back. IRS suspending some operations. Just saying that gave me a semi. Trump said he wants to use this as an opportunity to cut Democrats' agencies permanently. So funding lapse starts October 1st, 2025. The thing that really ticks me off about all this is that a lot of these federal workers, Steffi, are going to get back pay, which is kind of... It defeats the point to me.
When they come back, you mean?
They come back and they get back pay.
Oh.
They pay them for all the time that they didn't work.
Oh. I thought they're being fired.
Some are. 100,000 gone.
So those people will not get back pay. It's the people who are furloughed that will get back pay, right?
Right. The furloughed ones. So
yeah.
Agencies that are impacted, the Department of Education, the EPA, IRS, some military pay delays, and Trump is using it as leverage to permanently cut some agencies. So while they're out of office, it sounds to me like what the Trump administration is going to try and do is to make this as painful as possible for the Democrats while making it as easy as possible on the Republicans. Now, all of this, Stephanie, hinges on the amount of money that is used in Medicaid to provide emergency medical services to illegal immigrants in this country. So, you worked in a hospital. A certain percentage of the funds, and maybe you could speak to this better than I can, go if illegal migrants come into the hospital, there's a requirement to treat.
My hospitals, you had to treat everybody. And we did have a charity organization. I don't know what it was or, who gave to that organization, but we did have a charity organization that would pay for people's medical bills if they qualified. So I don't know if you have to be an American citizen to qualify for it. I highly doubt it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we treated everybody. I don't know if I've ever met an illegal immigrant in the hospital. Because I mostly worked in the inner city and it was mostly like black people.
You need to learn racial profiling.
Yeah. We didn't really have many Hispanic people.
Well,
or Latino people.
In Detroit, they hadn't made their way that far north yet.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, when I was
I'm sure you did. You just
when I was in
know
that inner city hospital, it was back in 2010 to 2017. So it was a while ago at this point.
Stephanie, she's so sweet. She looks at people. She doesn't see she sees the best in people, right? So you got to be careful. Never let somebody like Stephanie be in charge because she would let the barbarians in the gates. You need somebody like me on the wall wearing a shirt
Well,
like this so
if
that
an-
they're terrified and run away.
If an illegal immigrant came to the hospital, what I would have done, because I think there were some sort of immigrants, illegal or not, but I would have given them resources about organizations that they could go to in the community to get help. So, like there's a lot of times different like ethnic organizations. So it'd be like, the Mexican organization, for people. And they could go there and then they could get certain resources from those organizations. So that's probably what I would have done as a social worker, is just refer them to places in the community where they could network and maybe get some help.
Yeah, there we go. Looks like somebody went to the grift shop this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yay. What did they buy?
Oh, they got the No Lives Matter Michael Myers Halloween
Nice.
hoodie.
That is a fan favorite.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much. That means that we're well on our way to unlocking the angry cheesy poof on the Wake Up America show today. If we hit $100, we'll have the angry cheesy poof on the show. And of course, the $75 level is the unlocking of our bonus content for our mini documentary. So keep it coming, guys. We're really thankful and grateful for all your financial support. I also want to very quickly, before we move on to the big announcement, because we got to make that in just a couple minutes, to remind you football fanatics, if you're ready for some primetime NFL action, then it's time to tune into Westwood One for all the gridiron glory you crave, from jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays. Don't miss a moment of the excitement. Every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on westwoodonesports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa, "Hey Alexa, open Westwood One Sports." If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
We do have a lot of sports fans in the audience.
Of course. And we're grateful to Westwood One and for Rumble, and we're shaking that money maker. Okay, so speaking of, are you ready for the big announcement,
I'm
Stephanie?
so scared.
I'm not scared. You can do it. All right, Stephanie, do it. It's time to make the big announcement.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm sure a lot of you may be able to guess. We have written another children's book, but not just any children's book. It is Milei, the Afuera President, in English. But we also have a Spanish version, Milei el Presidente del Afuera. And we are very excited. This is probably the first and only children's book about Javier Milei. It's truly a biography about his life, about his mission, and it is specifically for kids ages 4 to 10. That's what we say.
Yeah, and we think this. Here's the thing: we think this has the potential to be really big, but here's the
Yes.
thing: we need your help with this.
Because we can sell it to Argentina. We can sell it all around the world. This is on Amazon.
Yeah, so they can actually get access to it. And Javier Milei has a big election coming up this month. So the more we can spread the word, hopefully, the better his chances will be, so that he can have his libertarian experiment in Argentina, and he can El Socialismo.
Yeah, we need to really spread around his message around the world while we still can. He's only going to be here until 2027, and there is an election coming for cabinet members this month, literally in like a week from now or so.
Yeah, so
It's very important around this time to just stay in big support of Javier Milei.
Now, and here's the thing about this, right? You don't, I mean, it would be great if you bought the book. We'd love it. And we are going to be giving one away today for one of our lucky prize winners.
That's the prize. Yay!
But you don't even have to spend any money this morning, guys, to help us out, because in about 8 or 9 minutes over on my X account, we're going to post the press release and we're going to post the links to it. Very often, Javier Milei will retweet me and share these things.
Yeah.
So if we manage to get his attention and he reposts this children's book, it could be huge. It could be huge.
It will be huge, because when we posted out the shoes, the Afuera shoes, the people in Argentina, they're like, where can we get them? Where can we get them? And we had a problem because we couldn't ship to Argentina, and it got kind of convoluted. But this can be shipped to Argentina. So we can impact people in that country.
Yes. So you don't have to actually spend any money to help us to get the word out and to make a big impact. So we need all hands on deck. For everybody who's watching the Wake Up America show today, if you're a fan of what we're doing and you want to help us succeed and help Javier Milei to succeed, you could play a big part of that if you go over and repost the X post with the press release that's coming out in about 6 or 7 minutes. So set your phasers to stun. Make sure that you've got my X account pulled up, maybe in another browser. We'll let you know when it is up and available for you guys to repost. But tag Javier Milei. Let him know. Say, hey, Javier Milei, did you see this new children's book about you? You know, check it out. Like, good luck in the upcoming elections, things like that. Let's really have a big push there for Javier Milei today because we want him and the Libertad Avanza Party of Argentina to win. We want him to win.
And it'll probably help if we share the Spanish version to him mostly because that's what he's going to understand the best. And the Spanish version is completely in Spanish. Even the copyright is in Spanish. And we have had some of our Spanish-speaking friends who have helped us with this translation to make sure that it is specific to how Argentines talk.
There we go. So Drew Van Runkle says, can a bunch be ordered to Argentina to be distributed? Absolutely. That can be done.
Yeah, if you have an address in Argentina.
Well, we do. Well, here's the thing. In our Discord server where all the For Liberty Network people hang out, there's several people from Argentina there. Yeah. We actually attracted a bunch of Argentine fans over the last year.
We have their phone numbers.
Yeah, some of them.
That is true.
Yeah. And so if that's something that you were really interested in, then, let us know. Send us a text and we can help coordinate something like that. But we have it in English and we have it in Spanish, and boy, was it a project trying to get it in Spanish. We want to give a special shout out and a thanks to Mylene Salabaria
and also to Perla Lauderdale.
And Perla Lauderdale.
She helped me with some last minute edits. So thank you to our Spanish speaking friends.
Yeah,
we really regret not learning Spanish in school.
I know we took French. Damn it! Oops, that was a mistake.
But the thing is about Romance languages is they're very similar in terms of how the sentences are structured. So when you can understand French, Spanish is actually not too different. I took it for 1 year in middle school, and I actually used to get confused about Spanish words and French words because they're very similar, some of them.
Should have learned Spanish. Should have learned Spanish.
My niece, she's like fluent in Spanish, and she's like 7 years old.
There you go. So we'll just have to use her when she gets older. But anyways, we just want to say thank you to everybody who's been supportive. I mean, obviously Mylene and Perla Lauderdale did a lot to help us get this out, because the first question that somebody asked yesterday when we let it slip to the AI class.
See, if you are an AI class subscriber, you get to hear the news first.
Yeah, because I was teaching them how we make our children's books, and that's one of the things in the course that they learn how to do is to do this, what we're doing, this incredible work. And so I was showing them sort of how we put that together and use Midjourney to make this work. But yeah, it's just a fantastic project. And the first thing that somebody said yesterday was like, "Do you have it in Spanish?" And I was like, "Yes, we do. We have it in Espanol."
Yes. Do we have the link in the chat right now? Is the link in the Rumble chat
no,
so
but
they can buy it?
Brad will put. Oh, yes.
Okay.
So Brad's been posting the links.
Thank you, Brad.
Over the chat. Let's give it up for BB for Liberty too.
Thank you. He has been a really big support and help as well in getting this book together and out into the world.
Yeah, we're just grateful that we have so many great employees. We've got Paul, and we've got Brad, and we've got volunteers. We've got Daniela, and I mean, just think about where we are now, where we were 3 years ago. Where we were 3 years ago in the back room of a dusty beer hall, and now to our own full-blown network, several shows, 3 children's books, dozens of coffee subscribers. I mean, we had nothing, and look at us now. Look at me now.
Yes.
I'm just really glad and excited that we're getting there. We're making it work,
We're trying everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really like pulling out every trick from our book that we can.
Yeah, we're trying to make it work, and it's because of people like you. We may be small, but we are mighty. We punch above our weights.
Hazel does too. She punches above her weight.
She does. So thanks for everybody for helping us to make these incredible projects happen. We couldn't do it without you all. All right, let's talk about some news. Cancel Netflix or cancel yourself. So Elon Musk, tech overlord, meme king, is now the face of a conservative Netflix boycott. He told his 170 million followers cancel Netflix. If you have 170 million followers, I don't care if you're one of the most powerful companies in the world. if somebody like Elon Musk comes out and calls for a boycott of your company, that is dangerous, big time.
Very much so. At this very moment, I have canceled my Netflix, not because of this news, but just because whenever there's nothing to watch on Netflix, like we already watched everything we wanted to watch, I just cancel it. Because it's like, $15 a month?
It's expensive.
Or you can get the version where it's not as high quality and it has, commercials or whatever for like, I think, $8 a month or something. They're always raising their prices. So I'm personally not a subscriber to Netflix, but I do like Netflix. They've got some great shows on there. And I like that all of their shows are free when you're a subscriber. Whereas Amazon Prime, they're not all free. You still have to pay at least $3 to watch a movie when you have Amazon Prime. That's stupid.
I'm trans, Norma, and everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows, and being here, it's like a whole new place.
There is a Netflix show for kids called Dead End Paranormal Park, and it has now been exposed as pushing pro-trans ideology on children. Take a look.
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney, and I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier. And that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots. Huxley reminded me how important it is to live your life without apology. So I think I gotta give living here a shot. Don't you?
You don't need my permission.
Thank God that we're pre-taping this today, and I'm actually in temple right now praying. I'm praying right now, and I'm repenting. Why do I feel like I need to repent for that? It makes no sense.
But thank God
he was celebrating Yom Kippur.
Thank God he doesn't live in the United Kingdom.
That's not for children, but it's marketed towards children. That is the problem. You want to be 20 years old, and you grew up as Max, and you want to call yourself Mary, and have a little opsa and a funny wig, and get your nails
that actually
done.
looked like a pug,
That's
didn't
just fine, but stop pushing this crap on kids. Also, it's Halloween right now, so the ghost stuff. There's a lot of ghost stuff going on in my house right now. The kids are huge on Ghostbusters right now, okay? But if in Ghostbusters 2 they had chopped Venkman's wang off, I wouldn't have shown that to the kids. I haven't even shown them Ghostbusters. They're just really into the song at the moment. And they like the idea of ghosts. They're only 3. That's the point. There's no trans wackadoodle stuff in Ghostbusters, but I'm still not sure. Elon's not happy about this because Elon's son is now a daughter, or a daughter is now a son. So
he has
strange
a
completely.
trans
So he saw that video.
Cancel Netflix for the healthier kids. That's what Elon posted there.
He reposted this meme, and of course it's the Trojan horse idea that you get the transgender woke agenda and your kids, and it's just they're just walking into the castle, and he wrote cancel Netflix for the health of your kids.
There you go. So, I mean, this is the right wing deciding to fight the culture war finally. And they're copying some of the same tactics that the left perfected over years. Boycotts, outrage mobs, purity tests. If you stream this, you're part of the problem. If you like this show, you're a groomer. If your kid watches PBS, you're basically prepping them for human trafficking.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know what the playbook of the left is, so I probably need to study that a little better. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it's up to the parent to monitor what their child's watching. Hazel, at this point in time, all she watches is Hawaii Cats, which is an AI music video of just cats in like Hawaii. So, I mean, just watch what your kids are watching. But I mean, if it's on Netflix, I can see where we don't want to support Netflix because they're just going to use our money to make more of these things.
Exactly. Right. So, and I've got nothing against using your wallet to send a message. That's as American as it gets. Right. It's a shame that we can't have like an earnest conversation because everything has to explode immediately with rage mobs. But it's the world that the left created. And now that the right is actually fighting that war and actually fighting back, then, now they don't like it. Now they don't like, and so many of them have lost their jobs in recent weeks because of the comments about Charlie Kirk. I mean, this is a situation we're going to have to deal with, Stephanie, as parents. We're going to have to make the decisions about the media watching of our kids. I'll tell you, like my parents, when I was a kid, they didn't let us watch R-rated movies.
I probably wouldn't at this point. I was allowed to watch American Pie as a kid, but I don't think it's necessary.
You think that was a mistake?
Yeah. Because then it's like your kid sees all these sexual things and they don't really know how to make sense of it. They don't really know like the meaning behind sexual things. So yeah, I think it's better to just wait until they can understand, what is sex and when is it appropriate to do sexual things with people.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get too much, too personal here or something like that. But you feel like it impacted you negatively seeing that at an early age?
Probably, yeah. Because as a kid, I probably knew a little bit too much about the adult world, especially like being on the internet too. When you had no parental accounts or anything like back in the early 90s. It's like, a kid can run wild on the internet and it's like you see adult things and, you don't know how to make sense of it. And so it's like you learn this stuff a little bit too early on and you're just not developed enough mentally to, truly understand it.
Do you think that being a parent now that in the last, year, 2 years, your pregnancy on, that it has made you perhaps more conservative in certain ways?
Being a parent?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you even see me. I used to drink pop as a kid, right? Like I used to drink, Sprite, orange pop, whatever. But when I see you with a Coke and Hazel wants your Coke, I say, no, we're not going to expose her to caffeine. Why do we want to get her hooked on caffeine right now? We know what the effects are going to be later on in life. She's going to become addicted to caffeine. She's going to start drinking coffee and pop all the time. Like, we don't want that. So it's like, yes, I've seen myself being a lot more strict than my parents were for me as a kid.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the bonus content unlocked today because we've got the angry cheesy poof who's going to dispel.
Well, Hazel does eat cheesy poofs.
Oh, so you feed
They're
her
Cheez-It brand cheesy poofs.
So what? Yellow dye number 5, red dye number 16?
I don't know what's in there. I guess I need to get more strict on that one.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I love being lectured to by the crunchy granola moms about putting chemicals in the body. Meanwhile, they're injecting this toxic Botox into their faces.
Oh, for sure.
Let me tell you about the chemicals that you should be allowed to put in your body. The
Right.
vaccines cause autism.
Well, but then we also say, I will do things differently than how I'll do them for my kid because it's like we learn our lessons as adults. I know you've even said that recently. Like you think certain things are okay for you, but not for your child.
Yes.
And I agree with that. Like, if she just had wild access on the internet, no, I'm not okay with that now. I had that in the 90s, but in this day and age, you cannot just have free roam access on the internet. No. So that's where I'm going to be different than my parents. I'm going to, feed her differently than my parents. I'm not going to give her fast food all the time. I'm not going to give her pop all the time because I know that that's not healthy to show her those habits early on. I'm not going to let her watch Miss Rachel, at least as long as I can help it.
You know why? Because she's a filthy Palestinian supporter.
Oh, is she too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gay.
We're not going to have her watch Coco Melon if we can help it.
Absolutely not. I think Coco Melon actually was the one that had 2 dads. My 2 dads.
Yeah, but honestly, I think what I'm going to show her mostly is Disney films that are older.
Oh, the
older shows.
Before it got fake and
yes, Cinderella, right? Moana, Pocahontas, like the ones from a long time ago that don't have any weird stuff in them.
Yeah, if they're talking about globalizing the Intifada, then we're out.
Right. And in terms of this Netflix show, it's called Dead and Paranormal or whatever. Based on the title alone, why would you let your child watch that?
Because ghost stuff is fun as a kid. It's like Ghostbusters,
It just sounded terrible.
Don't do that, Stephanie. Don't become a boomer, okay? Because the whole based on the title alone, it sounds like it's bad and scary, right?
Well, it did.
No, it's like, don't be like that. Because my point was going to be that my parents, they outsourced their thinking to the ratings agencies, right? Which is what parents are always trying to do. Their parents always love to slough off the hard work of figuring shit out themselves. I don't want to homeschool my kids. Send them to the public school. Right? I don't want to figure this. I want to read about yellow dye number 6, give him the cheesy poof, but then, whatever, the caffeine is going to be the thing that's going to, I'll take him give him autism. Oh, it's the Tylenol or something. It's always the people are looking for the short.
Well, Hazel does get Tylenol.
People
I'm going to say
always,
that.
yeah. People are always looking for shortcuts.
Yes.
For the hard work that they don't want to do of parenting. And so I think, again, when it comes to like just the title of something or just the rating of something, find out what your kids are watching. How about you actually take a little bit of time and interest and find out, what are they actually watching? Is it okay? Is it Paranormal Park, Dead and Loving It? Who knows? You're watching, watch the movie. Watch the
I would
movie
watch
with
it
your
with
kids.
them.
How about you do that? How about you spend a little bit of time with your goddamn kids?
Because the thing about TV...
Instead of asking to ban everything, I'm sorry, the angry cheesy poof is inside of me and he wants to come out.
Well, the thing about TV is that so many parents use it as a babysitter, so they have no idea what their kids are watching. They just like turn on Netflix. They're like, oh, kids section. Oh, this has to be safe, right? So they turn on this dead and paranormal show, and then they go on and do their own thing in the house and don't even know what's on the television. So most of these parents, if you told them there's a transgender person in the show, they might have no idea. They're like, oh, no, it's a kid show, whatever.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, because again, we outsource our thinking to the ratings agencies. And we say to ourselves, oh, well, it's made for kids, so it must be fine, but don't watch a rated R movie, even though like if you watch a rated R movie from like the 1970s or 80s, you might have it's gonna be like Dirty Harry, and you'd be better off showing your kids Dirty Harry than you would the trans Dead and Loving It paranormal Netflix made for kids specials.
I do have a concern though, because I want to prepare Hazel for what she's going to see in this world. I remember as a young child, I was exposed to special needs students in their classroom, and I remember that being very helpful for me so that I wasn't shocked when I'm out in the world and I see someone with Down syndrome or autism or whatever. So I do want Hazel to at least know that these people are out there, so that one day when she sees a man in a dress, she's not like, what is that? Yeah. Like we need to teach her that those people are out there and they might be in the bathroom with you sometimes.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay to like shelter them to some extent. Like I don't know that you need to necessarily share the birds and bees of every sexual proclivity of every pervert in the world before they come across them in the real world. I think it's okay for them to, like come across something in the real world and then, have a question for it. But if you as a parent, rather than kind of like judging them for like some of their thoughts and behaviors as normal children would do, rather than kind of shutting them down, being like, bah, right, or attacking, just, calmly express what it is that that is that situation. Talk about how you feel about it as a human being. And say, I strongly encourage this kind of behavior. But I feel like if you try and push children one way or another, like I don't have oppositional defiance disorder. I was a good kid. I obeyed my parents. I went to church. I did all the right things until I realized doing the right thing gets you nowhere in life. And then I changed my attitude. And I became a man. And because, men can't follow the rules or you will get it. If you always follow the rules, you'll always get in life. So don't follow the rules. Follow the law, but don't follow the rules. But yeah, I would say don't introduce them to the wackos. We don't want to normalize it. I think what you do is, you let them, they're going to see it in the real world. They're going to experience it. So they're going to see a show that, because you're going to miss it for whatever reason. It's going to happen. And then, then once they ask about it, if you've had an open dialogue and they know that they can trust you to come to you with things, then I think you would say, okay, it's fine to have a conversation with this, and they would feel comfortable with it too. Yeah. So I mean, and I don't, you never know how your kid's going to react. You never know. Some kids are going to be like, okay, great, this is awesome. I love my parents and I trust them. Other kids are going to be like, nah, I'm going to rebel against them. Because, we have a friend who like has a conservative dad, or I guess we'd say former friend, who has a conservative dad, and their whole life is centered around how they hate their dad. Like all of their liberal politics is because they hate their dad.
For sure.
And their dad is like a cool, he's like a conservative Republican guy. He's like just a normal, chill dude.
Yeah.
Right. But
they probably just feel judged by their dad.
Yeah, well, they should. They should feel loved by their dad. They should.
At what point is it okay to judge your child, right?
No, it's okay. I mean, at some point, like at some point you have to say is a bad seed. You know, that it is possible for you to be a good person and for your child to be miserable scum. But if in that scenario, you have the parent's going to feel guilt, I think, no matter what. But if you do your best, if you're, a chill conservative dad and you are able to talk to your kid about, what's perversion versus what's normal, healthy sexuality, then I think it's fine, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, Hazel, she already knows the difference between boy and girl. Very early on, she has these large photos of little baby boys and little baby girls, just playing. And she now knows when I turn the page, she's like, boy, girl. So she knows, and she does not know anything about transgender at this point in time.
Right. Exactly. We're not letting the kindergarten teacher decide what the gender of the child is here. So it's 7:45. In about 15 minutes, we're going to have Joseph Louis Trotter III on the show.
We call him Bob. That's from a children's book. There's this book. Oh God, I'm a parent now. There's this book that's about this guy's 15 animals, and all of them are named Bob, except his turtle. And his turtle has a really long name, just like Joseph Trotter III. So it's really funny. Anybody who's a parent of young kids will know that book.
Yeah. So instead of Justin on the show today, because Justin couldn't make it, we got to fill in with somebody who's his closest family, Joseph Trotter. Well, Joe Trotter is going to be joining us this morning. He's the executive director at Americans for Clean Water, and he's going to join us this morning to talk about these issues and more. He's also a fellow Jew.
Oh, yes.
And when I say fellow, I'm not a Jew, but
if your mother is Jewish, then you technically are, based on the Jewish law.
I am not one of those Christ killers. Just kidding. Everybody knows.
I look like somebody who would kill Christ?
Yes.
Really?
Turn your face to the side. Let him see your nose.
Oh my gosh.
Let him see your nose, Stephanie. Look at that. Isn't that the nose?
No, actually, it's not. That's not a typical Jewish nose.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because my dad's Christian, so I do not have a typical Jewish nose. The nose would be a big bump.
Just do me a favor, Stephanie, and rub your hands together. Do it, Stephanie. Come on. Rub your
Only because my hands are cold.
Rub them together.
Only because they're cold.
She wants my gold.
Yes.
This is the funniest shit ever. God, we're going to talk to Joe this morning about the Jewish stuff. She doesn't have a nose for real. Our Volt, come on, just go along with it.
I really don't. Austin seems to think I do, but I do not have the bump. It's like that broken nose look, and there is no bump to be found.
Yeah, we're going to have a great show today on the Wake Up America show. The second hour is going to be even better than the first. It looks like the Javier Milei children's book post is up and out.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Javier just retweeted it.
No.
My God. I would have an aneurysm.
If he does during the live show, we're going to poop our pants because it's going to be so amazing. But so we need all hands on deck. We're dropping the link to the press release over in the chat right now. And underneath it is the press release in Spanish, in Espanol. So do us a favor, guys, if you don't mind, just take 5 seconds and head over there and
I'm retweeting everything right now.
Yeah, and just post and let Javier Milei know that he should check it out, repost it, tell everybody that it's out there, share it with friends, and we will be giving away a free copy to one lucky subscriber today on the Wake Up America show at the end of the show.
And you can have the Spanish version if you would like that. So you can choose either the English or Spanish version.
Yeah, it'll be up to you. And so head on over there to X real quick, repost that, and tell your audience to check it out. Tag Javier Milei and tell him good luck on the upcoming elections, because that's the big deal. We were rushing to try and get this out before the elections. Election interference. No. Oh,
I was working very late nights to get this uploaded. Yes.
We live in the United States, so we have free speech. So check out our Javier Milei children's book and grab a copy if you would like. We are going to be giving one away only to subscribers, though. So we do a monthly prize drawing giveaway. And today we're going to give away a copy of our children's book, our new one. But if you have the little red castle next to your name in the chat, then you are automatically entered to win. If you are a subscriber over at our wakeupamericashow.com website, you are already entered to win. If you don't have that red little castle button next to your name, or if you're not a subscriber at wakeupamericashow.com, you still have time to become one. And I'd really like you guys today, if you're feeling particularly patriotic, to take the pledge and join us as a $17.76 a month subscriber. If you're saying to yourself, finally, you've been sitting on the fence, watching the Wake Up America show, loving what we do at the For Liberty Network, and you're saying, I want to become a foundational supporter of this network and of the content and the good work that Stephanie and Austin are doing, then we ask that you become a member of the Peterson's Patriots Club. That means that you get on our monthly, or you get on our yearly, our annual Christmas card list. You get a 20% discount at the gift shop. You get entered into these prize drawings, and you're going to it's going to a good cause, because all the money that we're not reinvesting back into Liberty projects like these, and paying our employees and staff and growing the network and buying the expensive cables that we have to put into these cameras and things. All that money, if it doesn't go there, goes right in the mouth of a redheaded libertarian baby. So there you go.
And boy, oh boy, is she eating and drinking a lot. All of her milk.
Cecilia H says the Petersons have some of the nicest cards, and said, there you go. Cecilia, 1776er right there. She's a Peterson's Patriot.
Did you say the nicest cards?
Cards.
Oh, Christmas cards?
Yeah,
you mean?
Christmas cards.
Oh, yes. I'll actually be... I need to get my list going for Christmas this year. So subscribe now, because I'm going to start putting it together literally this month, because I send out the cards next month.
Yeah. How do they become a member of the Peterson's Patriots Club, Stephanie? Because it's not here on Rumble. They have to go to our other website.
Correct. So I know it's confusing. We have so many places. WakeUpAmericaShow.com/support. You can go right there, and it shows you all of the different subscription tiers. You can do 5 a month, 10 a month, 17.76, 20, 50, 100, and more. So go on over wakeupAmericaShow.com/support. And if you subscribe for $17.76 a month or more, you are eligible to get our holiday card this year and in future years if you continue to be a subscriber.
There we go. That's
And you get a special 20% discount code.
Yeah.
Yes.
Switching topics that we'll segue to talk with Joe Trotter about here in just a few minutes. Have we unlocked phase 1? Not yet. You guys have got keep.
Well, you all better start buying our book. Well, okay, wait.
No,
we cannot tell when people buy our book.
Yeah, well, it takes hours and hours.
That
so
sucks.
Unfortunately, we can't use the book as a guide.
What if people like on the honor system say, "I bought the book"? What if they do that? No, they can't do that.
No,
darn it.
No, no, because Brad can't keep track of it. So if you guys please get a copy of the book, and and then obviously keep the Rumble rants coming so we can unlock the bonus content. Next topic, please.
2,200 American servicemen killed at Pearl Harbor. We go on to kill 3.5 million Japanese, including 100,000 in one night. 2,800 Americans in 9/11. We go on to kill 400,000 people in Afghanistan and Iraq. We weren't accused of genocide. You had, if Mexico had elected a jihadist cartel to run their country, and then they incurred into Texas, and on a per capita basis killed 35,000 people, or the population of the University of Texas, and on the way back took the freshman class at SMU hostage and hid them under tunnels, what would we do? It'd be the great Sonora radioactive parking lot. But Jews are not allowed, and Israel is not allowed to prosecute a war. And they are prosecuting a war more humanely than we have done. The ratio of combatants to civilians is, of civilian death to combatant mortality is lower than it was in Mosul, lower than it was in Japan, lower than it was in Germany. So there's just a different standard for Jews in Israel when it comes to prosecuting a war. They're allowed to fight back to a truce. But unlike America or any other Western nation that has attacked this viciously, they're not allowed to win a war. It's a double.
There we go. It's a double standard. Interesting. Mm-hmm. This in the background of another fatal incident at in the UK yesterday. 2 Jewish people killed by a man. Guess what his name was, Stephanie?
Mohammed.
That's a pretty good guess. So that was the second guess I would have bet. That would have been the first guess I would have made, actually, if I didn't know.
Why? What's his name?
The name of the person, the murderer yesterday, the Manchester synagogue attacker, his name was Jihad al-Shami.
Oh, Jihad. Oh, my God. Jihad. That's a name? I thought that's like the name of a group, a terrorist group, isn't it? Jihad?
His name was freaking Jihad. A man who carried out an attack at a synagogue in Manchester on Thursday left 2 people dead and 3 others injured. His name was Jihad al-Shami. He was a 35-year-old, they say, British man of Syrian descent, let's not go around anymore. You say British man. No, he wasn't a British man. He was a 35-year-old Syrian of Syrian descent.
He's probably been in the UK for like 2 days.
Please stop calling these invaders by the names of the countries that is not their mother country. Jihad al-Shami was his name, and 3 further people had been arrested as part of the investigation and declared it a terrorist incident. The incident occurred on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar.
Yom Kippur. Yesterday was the Day of Atonement, where Jews go to synagogue and they fast all day long. So it's a very, very important day.
2 men in their 30s and a woman in her 60s have been arrested in suspicion of commission, preparation, instigation. So he had help. He wasn't alone. And I really loved this clip from this gentleman yesterday on MSNBC when he was talking about the double standard that Israel is not allowed to have, because it looks like the Trump peace deal that he proposed, the 20-point Gaza plan for the Middle East. It looks like Hamas is not going to accept the deal, which, I mean, doesn't really shock me. But but Trump's warning to Gaza and to Hamas was that if Hamas does not accept the deal, then he's going to take the leash off of Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel. And Israel will, and we're going to get a lot of hate for this, do what Israel finally needed to do a long time ago, which is to completely annex Gaza and defeat their enemies once and for all.
So they're not defeating them because we have a leash on them?
Yeah, a lot of this, Israel is always constantly being pulled back from being able to defend themselves in every conflict that they have, whether it's the United Nations, homos, or whether it's the globalists at any other institution. They are constantly being leashed by the international left, by the globalists who want to prevent Israel from being able to defend itself because they want Israel to die. They want the Jews to die. They want to slaughter and genocide and murder all of them. And so they accuse the Jews of doing what they themselves are guilty of. And in my mind, in my opinion, if this had happened, just as this professor explained, if this had happened, an incursion across like October 7th, if that incursion had happened to the United States across the border from Mexico, all of Mexico would be a desert. There'd be no more vacations in Mexico. It would be it would be the beautiful glass desert of Guadalajara. There would be no more Mexico. And no one would blame us. And no one would stop us. And I don't understand why we apply that double standard. I guess I can't say that I don't understand why we apply the double standard. I know why we apply the double standard. It's because there's 1 billion Muslims in the world. Many of them are very wealthy oil emirates who spend lots of money. Qatar is funding a lot of the anti-Israel content campaigns that are going on here in the United States and around the world. They're trying to buy the silence of conservatives in the United States. They've spent millions of dollars on the right-wing conservative outlet Newsmax. They prop up Al Jazeera and AJ Plus, which are left-wing progressive movements. Stephanie, knowing just what you know about power from like the readings of the book that we're doing right now, what would you think about someone who is funding both progressive leftist magazines and right-wing conservative news networks?
They're doing both?
Yeah, they're doing both.
Ooh, they're trying to get power.
Yeah, they're trying to get power.
Yeah.
They're trying to get power.
When you stroke the ego of a person, you're actually trying to get power. That's what I have learned.
Yeah. Yeah. They want us to, they're trying to take both sides. I know you're not a Star Wars buff, but for those who are Star Wars people out there, you'll understand. In the prequel Star Wars films, Emperor Palpatine's rise to power comes about because as a senator, he is playing both sides against the middle. There's this giant conflict, this droid wars that are going on, or clone wars that are going on. And Senator Palpatine, who eventually becomes Emperor Palpatine, comes to power because he's pretending like he's a Democrat. They're voting in democracy. There are emergency powers that need to be granted in order to fight the other side. But the other side is being secretly controlled and bankrolled and by Senator Palpatine, so that all of the chaos will have everyone cry out, "Give us a king, give us a king," like they said, the Israelites said in the Bible, "Give us a king." And then, of course, Jar Jar Binks and others give Senator Palpatine power. He becomes the emperor of the empire. And eventually the people that he doesn't need anymore are murdered and killed because they were just tools the whole time for him to consolidate power. So he was playing both sides against the middle.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the Qatari oil emirates are doing. Yeah, right. And so we're going to talk about that this morning with Joseph Lewis Trotter III. It doesn't look like we've unlocked phase 1 of the bonus content yet, so commercials for you guys. But keep the Rumble Rants coming, and please don't forget to head over to X this morning and share the good news. Let people know about the Javier Milei, the Afuera President book is available now. $53 now raised thanks to Joel Ledamore.
Oh, thank you.
So close, so close.
If you have bought the book, I'm just curious. Just write in the chat if you've bought our book, because we can't see it, and I'm so excited.
Arvold's just going to lie. We'll be right back. It's the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network.
I'm trying to write it.
Are you tired of the strange radioactive effects of leftist culture? Do you ever wonder what happened to good old-fashioned American values? Well, fear no more, because there's a new force fighting back against the cultural rot of today. Introducing Culturama, a right-of-center talk show that's taking back the future today. Hosted by none other than blonde bombshell herself, Daniela Pensack. She's not just talking, she's taking culture back. With sharp takes, brilliant guests, and a few surprises along the way. Tune in to the live video podcast twice a week, because the future doesn't have to be weird. It can be Culturama.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that at the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian, and always has been.
Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.
The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ?
I'm a foreign correspondent for Fox. And, normally when you're based in Jerusalem, you're covering suicide bombings, you're covering protests in the West Bank or riots in the West Bank, on and on and on. Because of the Arab Spring, I really hadn't spent that much time in Israel. And the Palestinian-Israeli conflict was not a thing in those years. There had been a couple Gaza skirmishes, but there was the Gilad Shalit deal where there was an Israeli soldier who had been held hostage and traded from Gaza to Israel for 1,000 Gazan prisoners.
Including Sinwar.
Including Sinwar, and including a woman named Wafa. And Wafa had been a woman in the West Bank, a woman in Gaza. She had pulled a pot of boiling water over herself when she was like 5 or 6 years old. The Israelis treat most of the people out of Gaza who have really horrific burns, catastrophic medical injuries. She goes back to Gaza after being treated for 4 or 5 years in Israel, but has a pass to get in and out of Israel, which very few people in Gaza did at the time. So she gets recruited to be a suicide bomber. This is in the Second Intifada, so mid-2000s. And there's the video of her coming to the checkpoint to get into Israel wearing her suicide vest. And she'd been given 3 target options by the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade: a bus, a cafe, or the hospital that had treated her and saved her life.
Gosh.
She chose the hospital that had treated her and saved her life. She gets to the checkpoint. They discover that she has a bomb, or they really think she does. She tries to detonate it. It doesn't go off. She gets thrown in jail. Again, the Israelis treat her. They help her with her burns. They educate her. They give her a college degree. And now in the Gilad Shalit deal, she goes back to Gaza. So I go to Gaza to interview her, thinking this is going to be a redemption story. It was before Christmas, right? That she is going to say,
perfect Christmas story.
I am going to be the one to try and forge peace, and I believe in peace, and I've seen that the Israelis are not evil, that I don't want to kill them anymore. Fine. So I get into Gaza, and I bring with me an iPad that has the video of her trying to blow herself up. So we're sitting across from each other like this. She's wearing a hijab in a very junky Gazan apartment. It is an awful place in every sense of the word. And I show her the video. And I said, what are you thinking watching this? She goes, oh, has all this reaction. And she goes, I'm thinking I almost tasted paradise.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Okay. Would you do it again? Absolutely, in a minute. This is my calling in life. I said, wait a second. These people treated you in all of your burns. They saved your life. You tried to blow them up. They still treated you. They educated you. And now you have a chance at life back here in Gaza. And you'd want to blow them up. And she goes, absolutely.
Oh my
They are
gosh.
the infidels. They are evil. They are the enemy. I can't remember what the exact translation was. And that's when my mind was made up about sort of the moral clarity of the Israeli.
The moral clarity of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Good morning, Pineapples, Rise and Freedom. Looking very good and very nice. I'm Austin Petersen here with the smokingest, hottingest of all the redheaded libertarian moms in the world. Stephanie, don't worry. We'll get there. We're going to let you go off. Go off, Queen. Before we do, we need another king. We need a hero. We need another member of the God's chosen people.
Of the tribe.
Of the tribe. His name is Joseph Lewis Trotter III. Wow, 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 wow.
Other way, but yeah. Good to see you. I'm doing great. Always good to see you guys first thing in the morning.
Yeah, bud. Thanks for joining us. You're the executive director of Americans for Clean Water and pretty much a member of the Petersen family, honorary member of the Petersen family.
Oh, you guys are honorary members of the Trotter family too, so it's great to see you.
We got the Trots this morning on the show. Stephanie doesn't know what the Trots are.
Is it like sexually transmitted disease?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not that bad.
Oh.
When you got the Trots, they say it's like the diarrhea. You got the shits.
Oh, okay.
We're glad to have all of our friends here on the Wake Up America show. People like Joseph make the show fun. Joseph, thank you for joining us today here on the show, and we're grateful.
Thanks for having me.
So, Joseph, your reaction to that video that we just saw?
It's not entirely unsurprising. You've got just generations of hate built up in that region, and you've got people who are not willing to work together there. Hamas is a suicidal death cult, just plain and simple.
But Trump has given them this 20-point peace plan. And tried to give. Well, apparently we're supposed to have their answer imminently to allow them to exist. Otherwise, he's going to take the leash off. Now, Joe, I know that you are a proud neocon, which is going to trigger a lot of people. You are the neocon friend. When Dave Smith and I were fighting back like a year ago or something like that, and I was like, "You need some neocon friends," and he's like, "You need fewer neocon friends." You were the neocon friend that I was thinking of, and I was like, "Damn!"
Let's spread peace and democracy through the world, guys.
Through superior military force. But Joe,
hey, you said it.
Joe, do you think that there's any chance that Hamas is going to take this peace deal?
No. There have been so many solutions, so many plans, so many sitting down, hammering things out, two-state solutions. It never happens. And let's bring it all the way back to how you and I first became friends in the first place. There is no economic incentive for them to do this because they have world governments giving them just handing over dollars, hands over fists, and handing over supplies. I mean, it seems crazy, I think, to most of the world if they really, honestly thought about it. But not to people who've had to deal with these folks, that they were given everything they needed to put in clean water infrastructure into the Gaza Strip, the pipes, the just everything you needed, and instead they got turned into rockets. This is not sanity. This is just, like I said, a genocidal death cult.
Steffi?
I almost feel like Israel is stupid in a way. Why? You know how they say, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Shame on Israel for continuing to treat this woman. Like, why are they doing that?
Because
when they know she's going to come back and try to attack them.
Well, because I think they do want them to. You do want to try and win hearts and minds, right, Joe? I mean, you want to try and have people who are going to be on your side, and somebody like that is a perfect example. So, I mean, there's a propaganda value in it for sure. But also, you're hoping that she's going to come in and say, "Hey, actually, you know what? They treated my wounds. They tried to save me. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is all a lie. Maybe we need to have peace in the Middle East." But instead, what they got was just slapped in the face. But you're right, Stephanie. It does lead one to wonder, why would you even treat them? So
yeah, they should have some sort of a policy. You know how we say here in America we treat illegal immigrants, right? Just have a no treat policy for anybody who could be on the other side.
Well, you probably can't do something like that because of there's a Geneva Convention and different things like accords that everybody's signed on to. But Joe, what do you think? I mean, without being overly hyperbolic, what do you think should be done?
Here's the thing. Steffi, I entirely get that. And, pragmatically, that's probably the way to go. But the Israelis have basic humanity here. Mm-hmm. They, actually do care about people. They care about life, prosperity, all of that. And they embody those ideals. And even those who are, let's call it radically intolerant of them, they go ahead and live by their principles as much as possible. Yeah. And yes, realities change during wartime, but Israelis by and large are people who want to treat people the best that they can. It's one of just the fundamental parts of what makes a democracy work is having humanity here. But you are up against a group that just doesn't care about humanity, and that's where the conflict lies.
And that's what, Austin, you and I have had this conversation a lot, where it's like, I just couldn't understand how people could truly be evil and not be able to be changed. But we've talked about that true evil actually can and does exist in this world. And we can't do anything about it.
It does, and it's just unfortunate. But part of this, though, is the fanning of the flames of anti-Semitism around the world, Joe. Part of this fight is happening right here at home, where we have people like Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, who are doing the whole. They're kind of like taking the Alex Jones shtick and sort of like ramping it up 10 times 10,000. And to Alex Jones's credit. Like Alex Jones himself has never been an anti-Semite. He has never been like a Jew hater, but he would platform people like Kanye West and Nick Fuentes and others. And when you think about it, it's sort of, you see these people who are behaving in a certain way here at home and here in the United States and and in the UK. No wonder there are these kinds of terrorist attacks. Here is a woman, Karen, white liberal female, giving a chant in support of the Intifada. Take a listen.
October 7th, Hamas, 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 anti-Semitism, anti-Semitism, Holocaust, Holocaust. You have a script, and you lost. You lost because every young person right now knows the truth of what Zionism is. And you know it too, but you don't want to give into it. You don't want to give into it because your whole life has been built on a lie.
I kind of feel like we should start a new charity program that takes these white liberal females and like the homos for Hamas, puts a black bag over their head and drops them off in Gaza, and let the Pakistani rape gangs get them in the UK. Man, just drop them in London. The Pakistani rape gangs will get them, and just let them experience what it is they're advocating for. Is that too harsh, Joe? Am I too neocon?
You might be out neoconning me there, but seriously, like this hating on the Jewish people is one of the longest standing, oldest tropes in the world. It's like the last gasp of people trying to remain relevant, and we're seeing that in the Democratic Party, the last gasp of trying to remain relevant there, other than shutting down the government. But it's long-standing. It's been ingrained in almost every world culture where the Jewish people have lived at some point. And I mean, I think it's firmly rooted in jealousy. You see a group of people who, aren't necessarily out there proselytizing, but you see them with happy families. You see them with good educations because it's the values that they embody. And people are just so overly jealous of it and see it as, basically so unnatural that this group of people has survived everything for thousands of years, even straight up genocide, just left and right, and they're thriving.
Yeah, it's like don't bring up the word genocide with us Jews, right? Like we know what genocide is, okay?
Well, it's like, here's the thing. They celebrated October 7th. They celebrated after it was done. And it's like, earlier we played this clip, Joe, of this professor who was talking about how Israel is the only, if this had happened to the United States, if October 7th had happened to the United States, there would have been no, there would be no Mexico if something like that had happened as an incursion across our border. We would have glassed Guadalajara. There would have been, and nobody would have said that we were committing a genocide if we had completely obliterated the country of origin, or the location of origin of the people who did something like that to us. As a matter of fact, here's the clip. Let me play this again. This is Professor Scott Galloway on MSNBC. I'm going to play this clip, Joe, and I want to have you react to it.
2,200 American servicemen killed at Pearl Harbor. We go on to kill 3.5 million Japanese, including 100,000 in one night. 2,800 Americans in 9/11. We go on to kill 400,000 people in Afghanistan and Iraq. We weren't accused of genocide. You had, if Mexico had elected a jihadist cartel to run their country, and then they incurred into Texas, and on a per capita basis killed 35,000 people, or the population of the University of Texas, and on the way back took the freshman class at SMU hostage and hid them under tunnels, what would we do? It'd be the great Sonora radioactive parking lot. But Jews are not allowed, and Israel is not allowed to prosecute a war. And they are prosecuting a war more humanely than we have done. The ratio of combatants to civilians is of civilian death to combatant mortality is lower than it was in Mosul, lower than it was in Japan, lower than it was in Germany. So there's just a different standard for Jews in Israel when it comes to prosecuting a war. They're allowed to fight back to a truce, but unlike America or any other Western nation that is attacked this viciously, they're not allowed to win a war. It's a double standard.
Joe?
Well, you know, I got to bring up one of my favorite authors here, Kurt Schlichter. He actually wrote an entire book about this scenario. What would have happened if October 7th had happened here in the United States? And I'm not going to ruin the plot. It's well worth a read. But basically, yeah, no. My cities would probably turn to glass, and it wouldn't be unwarranted.
Eating bacon in the morning reduces your chance of marrying a 6-year-old by 99.9%. Thanks, Dad Bod Babin.
I just wonder what happens if Trump really does take the leash off of Israel. What would happen? Would Israel get killed? Would they get everybody?
I don't think Israel's going to have to worry about it too much, but the Gaza Strip's going to have to worry. I mean, Joe, why can't they just do what the great American settlers and pioneers did to the natives and just annex the territory? Isn't that what made America great again?
I mean, they're back to this. Like, Israel is a nation with humanity, and it gets lost in all the accusations of, oh, there's genociding the Gaza Strip. No, like, if Israel wanted to just completely annex the Gaza Strip, they could have bombed every square yard multiple times over and killed every man, woman, and child easily in a very easy way. And they didn't do that because, frankly, they're better than that. But they are still catching flack as though that is what they actually did. And it's just absolutely crazy. But I feel actually really bad for the people in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank because they've been used as political pawns for the last, oh gosh, we're going on what, 70 plus years now, for other Arab nations to as just this excuse to go ahead and hate Israel. I mean, it kills me that the other Arab nations do not actually care about the lives of the people who are there. It's just politically convenient for them. And that's kind of messed up too.
Joe, I am this close to saying that I think we should probably ban all Muslim immigration indefinitely until we can find out what's going on. Is reasonable, unreasonable, matter of national survival, or do we need them to, I don't know, pick our cotton?
Look, I think what makes the right in general, and I'm going to appeal to your libertarian roots here, so great, is we have to look at the individual here. And, you know, each person has their own beliefs, their own values, and their own actions. And the wholesale banning of somebody because of a religious belief is pretty much not an American value in any way, shape, or form. So I'd say, you know, I go back to the presidential campaign a bit. Before people come over, do a real hardcore security background and see what you can get. This kind of just militancy and extremism doesn't ferment in a background. Vacuum.
But I mean, don't you? Isn't the United Kingdom like an example of the failure of that policy, Joe Trotter? Isn't the murder that happened on Yom Kippur a perfect evidence of what we have, of the actual fight that we have? And don't we need to think differently about how to deal with the menace of Islamic terrorism in our countries?
Well, the problem with the UK and a whole lot of Europe is they just let people in wholesale. And that is the same problem that was going on with the Biden administration. They were just letting people in wholesale. Come over, claim asylum, disappear in the system, pop up again when they do something awful. That is not a policy that we can do. It's really important to secure our borders and make sure we know who's actually here, make sure we actually want them here. But, you know, wholesale saying, no, you can't because of your religious beliefs, it's a slippery slope.
But if their religious beliefs are to attack the West and kill the West, if their religious beliefs are Sharia law and we're going to impose Sharia law and they end up like they are in Minnesota, Joe, 50% of people in Minnesota from Somalia are there on some kind of a fraud or a scam, right? That their families like did papers, cousin marriage, brother marriage. It fit almost 50% of the Somali population of Minnesota are there on some kind of a fraud or scam. How are you going to prevent something like that with an inept and corrupt federal government process as it is right now with immigration and the way that the Democrats are letting them in and the state-based policy that encourages it? How are we going to fight something like that without some kind of drastic measures?
Well, last I checked, we are doing a pretty good job on the federal level of, cutting the incompetence out. And look, demanding a basic competence for things like securing our borders is just a fundamental thing that this country needs to do. And it looks like we're getting there. But yeah, I would say the solution there is to make sure there is a basic competence rather than just sort of accepting wholesale incompetence out of our elected leaders and the people who work for them.
All right,
Yeah.
Stephanie?
I agree with Joe. I mean, I really don't know what the solution is because I know I used to go to school with some Muslim kids and I still follow their Facebook. And I mean, they're definitely pro-Palestine now and they're American citizens. So it's like we have people here in America who want to hurt us. So yeah, bringing in more dangerous people would not be the right idea. But like Joe said, freedom of religion. I mean, people in the Aryan Brotherhood live amongst us, right? They want Jews killed as well, but I mean, they're not going in there shooting up churches and synagogues.
If your religion is terrorism, no, there's no freedom. There's no religious freedom to terrorism, right? We don't allow the Mormons to have polygamy anymore by law. Are we going against their religious liberty to have polygamy? Yeah.
I think they're allowed. Aren't they allowed in Utah to have polygamy?
No,
I think
they're
that's
not
allowed.
No, they do it, but they're not allowed to.
Huh.
It's like the Muslims. They commit the acts of terrorism. They're not allowed to.
Yeah, because there's
It's
a lot
their
of
religion.
Okay, let's take the Utah example here. There is the LDS Church. The LDS Church, formerly, the big one, does not endorse polygamy. You have the extremist, crazy people out in the desert who go ahead and do that. In any group of people, you're going to find a couple of crazy people and a really just radical people who are going to do stuff. In any given population, you're going to find somebody or a group of people who's a bad seed. Does that mean pick and choose which radical or which groups you're willing to have in because they might have radical bad seed?
I know, it's so hard because there's just so many bad seeds that come from over there because of the brainwashing that takes place. Even like letting in children from that area would be dangerous because look at the TV shows that those kids are watching. The shows have like Mickey Mouse telling them to kill Americans. So it's, it's like, can we undo brainwashing that has been done to all of these people?
I mean, if you look at the radicals in the U.S., let's take a quick look at just American radicalism as it is. There are still American radicalists. There are still the American Nazi types.
Yes.
But they have been marginalized to an extent that while they might have an outsized voice online and get a lot of attention, they're not huge. There's, the Klan is not what it once was. And it's because society went ahead and corrected that behavior. It wasn't necessarily laws against, you can't do that. It's societal pressure and society taking responsibility. Now, I read a great quote recently, like, it feels like there's just a chunk of the American heart that's no longer there. And it's a religion-sized heart. And this is not to say that religion or any one particular religion is better than the other, but it is to say that there was a value in the community that provided. And basically, unless the U.S. gets its act together and starts, actually promoting good values, you're going to have people who go to the people who promote the really, really terrible ones.
Sam Harris cited Pew Research 2013, the world's Muslims, religion, politics, and society, showing strong support for Sharia law in many Muslim majority countries. 86% of Muslims in Pakistan, 74% in Egypt said they wanted Sharia as official law. In some countries, large majorities supported punishments like stoning for adultery and the death penalty for apostasy. They bring those beliefs to our Western nations, and then they take over their local governments, and then they advocate for penalties for apostasies. Harris points to polls that show a significant minority of Muslims, say suicide bombing or violence against civilians can be justified. A Pew survey found that 13% of Muslim respondents said suicide bombing is sometimes or often justified. If you have 1 billion people, what is 13% of 1 billion? How many people? He even said that even single-digit percentages represent tens of millions of people worldwide. There you go. So dismissing them as fringe, I think, underplays the scale. I agree with Sam Harris. I disagree with Joe Trotter trying to say, look at the individual here. Widespread support for blasphemy and apostasy laws in the Muslim world. Direct conflict between Islamic orthodoxy and American libertarian values. I say, no, you can't come in. We need to stop it until we can shut it down, until we can find out what's going on.
So are we going to end all immigration from Indonesia?
No.
What do the Indonesian people do?
No, because it's just like with the sexy Latina chicks. We make rule for big booty Latinas and for LBFMs, as they say, little brown F machines.
Oh my goodness.
The women can say,
this just took a turn.
We are conquerors. We are conquerors. We take the women, but not the men. That's just all it is.
But it's the women who are the suicide bombers. You saw yourself in that clip just there. The women are wearing the suicide vests.
Listen, some men, just like men.
Women are psycho.
Every man, every once in a while, jumps on a grenade in this country every day. So yes, some men are going to take the suicide bomber vest lady, but the rest of us men.
Think in those Muslim countries, they know very well to use women and children to their advantage. They know that if we're going to allow the women and children to come across, they're going to put the bombs in them. They know it.
Large portions of Muslim majority population hold views opposed to Western liberalism, Sharia law, blasphemy laws, apostasy, death penalties, and even suicide bombings. Joe, how do you screen if someone holds those beliefs? If the 13% of those people, of the 1 billion Muslims in the world, hold those beliefs and they want to come to the United States, we definitely going to turn them aside, right? Because I'll tell you,
yes.
Judge Napolitano, when I have conversations with him on the show on Wednesdays, I ask him about things like that. He's like, "It's freedom of speech." Fuck that. Sorry.
No. Look, agreed. If people show any inclination to want to do violence, especially political or religious terrorism, keep them out. But at the same time, I brought up Indonesia there because there are 242 million Muslims in Indonesia.
Oh.
It is the largest Muslim population in the world.
Really?
And it is. And that's not to say it doesn't have zero terrorism, but when's the last time you've heard on the news about some crazy big incident? I mean, it's
never.
There were a series of bombings in the early aughts, but it calmed down. So like I'm trying to say here, the context is where they're from, what they were brought up with, and it's not just the religion, the religious label.
All right.
Oh, so there's a cultural component there. So like when you're from
It's
Indonesia, you're not growing up watching Mickey Mouse talking about bombing Americans. So maybe that helps a little bit.
Yeah, the level of indoctrination on the wherever they're from. Okay, so Indonesians, then Joe, then perhaps we can say get a little pass.
Yeah,
especially if they're hot and not ladyboys.
I think we're figuring out the world's problems right here on the Wake Up America show. We got this.
If you were a Jew that lived in the United Kingdom instead of a Jew that lives in the United States, would you move the hell out of Great Britain?
Oh my gosh. I'll take away the hypothetical for a minute. I'm planning on going overseas early next year, and my choices for places to stop off on the way there include Great Britain. I will not even land in that country at this point.
Wow.
It's gone to hell.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Trying to avoid France too.
Yeah. All right. It's 8:30. We got 30 more minutes left. And Freedom Family Friday is usually not dealing with such difficult, dark subjects. But because it's, big news, we had to discuss it.
Well, we have 2 Jews on the show today.
We got 2 Jews on the show.
This is big.
Yes.
Right after the high holidays.
Yeah. We were going to have a Muslim on the show, but she blew herself up. So.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, dear. I think we should have a Muslim on the show sometime. I think that would actually be really great for discussion.
Durka, Baka, Allah. All right, guys, it's time for us to shift gears. Team America is coming away. We're going to shift gears. I want to remind everybody really quickly, briefly, who we are, what's going on, who the hell are we, why is he wearing that shirt? Silly news, serious, silly shirts, serious news coverage. But Friday, we like to goof around. This is Freedom Family Friday. I'm Austin. This is my wife, Stephanie. She's smoking hot. She's a libertarian.
Hello.
That's my buddy, Joe. He's smoking hot. He's also a redheaded libertarian Jew. Joe, thanks for sticking around with us this morning. Are we ready to have some fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, let's have some fun. All right, so we're going to shift gears. But before we do, just want to remind everybody, we're only $1 away from unlocking phase 1 of the bonus content. Literally $1.
Wow.
So get those Rumble rants in early and often. And if we hit phase 2 of the bonus content, then we have the angry cheesy poof on here today. And trust me, you do not want to, you want to hear, he's going to fly into an autistic rage. As a Tylenol American myself, I know it when I see it. So keep an eye out for our cheesy poof, angry cheesy poof, because if we raise $100 on the show, or if somebody goes to the Grift Shop at thegriftshop.com and makes a purchase, then that will definitely unlock the phase 2 of the bonus content today. So make sure you see it. Stick around to watch it too after Joe. You've heard of Make America Great Again, but now the youngsters are switching to Make America Hot Again. And I wonder if Joe's maybe even heard or seen of some of these events. If not, then maybe he needs to get on board because he's in the market for a lovely young lady of liberty. There are singles events happening in New York and DC, mixers and parties where young conservatives can meet, mingle, and find romance without worrying that their date secretly voted for Joe Biden. It's kind of like speed dating, but instead of what's your sign, it's who's your governor. Instead of what's your favorite movie, it's did you cheer when Bud Light's stock tanked after the trans...
Cute.
And they're actually partnering with apps called The Right Stuff, where you can swipe right on people who also think the IRS should be abolished. So, Joe, we'll go to you first. I mean, we both have dated and lived in New York and D.C. It's a liberal hellhole nightmare where for years on Tinder, the women were always like, swipe left if you voted for Donald Trump. So good news, bad news.
They still do that.
Will you be attending one of these mixers, Joe?
I will now. I only heard about these last week, and I am so excited.
Make America hot again.
Make America hot again.
So it's these conservative singles social brand hosting parties. It's hard out there for a pimp in D.C. and New York, isn't it, Joe? If you're a conservative, if you're anything to the right of Joseph Stalin, I mean, just kind of talk to us about what it's like dating in those cities.
Well, I mean, both DC and New York, just in general, and this is not even political, are just they're towns where people show up with a goal, whether it's to make money, take over the world, and mold it in their image. There's an ambition there that sometimes just gets in the way of people just deciding to settle down and actually start a family. I've seen this more times than I can count. But, in DC, as somebody who leans conservative, it is hard because we are very much in the minority. But there are opportunities with the Trump administration here. There's a lot more people who, frankly, are more sane and their hair's a little less blue. So, I'm going to go ahead and check these out. There are wonderful people here, but it's more diamond in the roughy, and I'm sure you had the same experience in New York City where it was a lot of wading through or, just moving out to the Midwest to find a lovely, hot, redheaded libertarian.
Exactly. You gotta import. That's what I've been telling Joe. I'm like, you need to set your notifications to Michigan or don't send them to Missouri. Don't send them to Missouri. They don't have the teeth here.
I was just in Tennessee for the first time in my life earlier this weekend.
They're cute. Yeah, lots of cute ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of Midwest cuties for sure, right? And they'll take care of you.
They were the ones holding the fish up in the photos. like
there
it.
you go. That's another thing too. That was another thing that I noticed, like in the last few years when I was dating before I met Steffi, is I noticed that like the women would get really mad if you were like fishing or hunting in your profile pictures and stuff too. Like that's a thing.
Oh, I added a photo of just me out at the Sporting Clays range, and the level of likes I got just.
Well,
now, the likes I did get were.
Oh.
But I mean, it is like a fact that that like the more masculine that you are in some ways that you project, the less they're interested. But if you have like a picture of you with like a puppy, right? If you're being something like, you know, if you're what they call them is performative males. If you have like a matcha, right? Or you like a copy of, I don't know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's book or some shit, then like that's the way to but I mean, I knew guys, I don't know if I ever did this. Yeah, I would like go to gay bars so that they would think I was cool, but like, you know, like I'm the one straight guy there, right? So like sometimes you can sort of like pretend.
We had thoughts about that.
Right? You just pretend, not that you're gay, but you pretend like you're, I don't know, liberal. So it's like, oh, she's like, oh, you know, what are you into? Like Joe, oh, well, I work for Americans for Clean Water. Oh, is that like an environmentalist thing? Is that like, you're like Greta Thunberg, right, Joe?
No, not at all.
Well, what
You could turn it into that if you wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. So what is
Oh my gosh, that would be the easiest grift in the world, but Lord knows we can't make anything easy. No, so the group of folks I work with, very conservative, just want to basically we have a litter problem in this country, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. We're aiming, like, conservation is conservative. It's literally the two words share a whole lot of letters there and a whole lot of meaning. Yeah. It's making sure that we are responsible for the land, the earth, the water, because that's our job. That's what we're here to do. And so we're going ahead trying to tackle a litter problem, basically, all across the nation. But we're trying to do it in such a way that the materials that get littered instead actually go back into the streams of commerce instead of the literal streams.
I think that's really cool. I never thought conservative people would care about that, but the way you just put it, conservation is conservative. But it's so interesting, though, that a lot of liberal people would agree with you that there's too much littering. So it's the liberals are also on your side in a way.
I'm gonna throw on the neocon hat for this one for a sec. Let's take a look at the state of Texas. Like every year, Texans throw away $180+ million worth of aluminum cans. Mm-hmm. Aluminum is a valuable national resource, and we produce less than 10% of the virgin aluminum we use in the United States. We import it all from overseas, pretty much. And that, from a supply chain perspective, from an economic perspective, from just a national security perspective, is not great. And we're getting that from Russia, from China, Jamaica, Mexico, Canada. And it's crazy to me that we don't make a really, really concerted push to ensure that this infinitely recyclable, super useful resource, a wonder metal, stays above ground. And of course, if things kick off with China, we're going to be digging through old landfills, pulling out old frat boys' beer cans to build another F-35. And that's even crazier to me.
The F-35 is such a waste anyway. Go ahead, Steph. Yeah.
Have you found that liberal organizations, like ones in California, for example, that they want to partner with the company you work for? Like, do they want to make alliances? Because they have the same goal ultimately.
Why? So it was pretty funny. I was just down in Tennessee, met the whole group of people who were trying to work on recycling efforts down there, and they were going on. They were talking about basically this model policy that this far right-wing group called the American Legislative Exchange Council endorsed to help boost recycling. Mm-hmm. And it was like, guys, I wrote that. Like, and so we got a meeting with them next week, and yeah, I mean, one of the hallmarks, or one of the things that I'd say used to be better about American politics is we all had the same goals. We just vehemently disagreed about how to get there.
Yes. That's what it is about nearly every subject.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted a clean environment. We wanted roofs over our heads. We wanted to have affordable health care. Again, we just vehemently disagreed about how to get there. And it'd be nice to go back to a national conversation that's more like that instead of where we're currently at. But I do think we can unite on making sure the environment's clean. I think we can help this country with in terms of material security and making a boatload of money doing it. So
love to hear it.
Win-win.
Where can
That's
people
the thing that liberals aren't used to. They're like, have the government do it.
Where can more people find out about this this group that you're working with, Joe?
Well, right now we're at TexansForCleanWater.org. We're standing up a website for Americans for Clean Water soon. We're an outgrowth of a state group that's been doing good work in this realm, and now we're taking a look at the other 49 states as well.
Love to hear it. That's Joe Trotter, works at America, Americans for clean water. Steffi drinks it from the Gulf of America mug.
Truly, this water tastes so good in this Gulf
She's
of
reducing
America
and
tumbler.
reusing there.
Nice.
I am.
That's right.
Yeah, we really don't use plastic bottles of water as much anymore. We more so use our reusable cups.
Yeah, exactly. We save a lot. So reduce, reuse, recycle might be a big waste of energy if it's not aluminum, but everything else kind of aluminum, useful, recycling.
We're just trying to save money in our household, like buying bottles of water all the time. That costs a lot of money.
It does.
Just getting water from the filtered tap system. I mean, that's fine.
It does. We've unlocked phase 1 of the bonus content.
Great.
That's fantastic. So as soon as Joe's off camera today, which is about 15 minutes, then we'll play the mini documentary if we don't unlock phase 2. But I recommend it. We're at $79, so $21 more.
Gosh.
It's so close. If you want to see the angry cheesy poof today, and trust me, you do, it's going to be hilarious, then keep those Rumble rants coming, or go to the Grift Shop at thegriftshop.com and buy something from our Halloween collection. We've got a big sale going on right now. If you use code GOTH15, then you can save 15% off our entire Halloween collection, like our Michael Myers No Lives Matter shirt, which is a big hit. And we also have, due to inflation, this will be my Halloween costume this year.
Maybe we should import the No Lives Matter shirts into the Muslim countries.
Oh, there you go.
Should we do that?
I don't know. They already believe it, so you don't have to worry about it.
At least we'd know that they're coming when they're wearing that shirt. We'd be like, stay away.
Yes. So keep those Rumble rants coming, and make sure that you visit the Grift Shop at thegriftshop.com. Everybody said, Austin, don't do a coffee. Oh my God, you're doing coffee.
We just got a sale.
When I tell people that we have a coffee shop, they always
And
are
it's
like,
coffee.
Everybody has, did we really just sell $2
Yeah, we
of
sold
coffee?
coffee.
We did. That's awesome. Joe, when we started the coffee business, people, not you, but a lot of people were like, don't do coffee. Everybody does coffee, does coffee. We now, we get a single solid, sizable check every month from our coffee business.
It's your coffee. I'm drinking it right now.
Are you
it's
kidding
actually
me?
really good.
Oh my gosh,
Thank
that's
you.
cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
My number one favorite is the Thomas's Painkiller, because it's like a Colombian single origin. It's so delicious. But the number one bestseller is what Andy just got, which is our
another one,
Jeffersonian Java. Yeah. So,
someone wants a Killdozer pillow.
Yeah, then they're gonna get a Killdozer pillow.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
Just
know if
like my atomic bomb pillow.
I don't know if you can see that, Joe, but we have a recreation of the bomb that was dropped over Hiroshima. So
is that Fat Man or Little Boy?
That's Fat Man.
Imagine if we had brought this on our Japan trip. That probably would have been very triggering.
I don't think we should have taken that with us to
No,
Japan.
no.
But it's more than just
Would you have
nuclear.
been turned away at the border?
Yeah.
No,
Inciting
probably.
violence.
Yeah, we should. So we do. Somebody just bought a Killdozer pillow. We do have Killdozer pillows. We have German MP40 machine guns.
Oh, he's from Michigan. Hello, fellow Michigander.
Yeah, and we also have we also have machine guns, tanks, all in cute, cuddly, soft pillows. And they are soft pillows, aren't they?
They're very soft. And they're almost like velvet feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So they're really soft when you put your skin on
There you
them.
go.
And you can pet them kind of just like an animal.
So if you've ever wanted to sleep with your M1 Garand but not have to kill an Imperial Japanese the next day, then head to the Liberty Shop at forlibertyshop.com.
Phase 2 unlocked. There you go.
Phase 2 is unlocked. The Angry Cheesy Pope will be on the show today. Thank you, Joe, for being so kind while we do a long, long commercial. But we couldn't do it without our friends. But I guess we'll circle back around to our topics. Let's take a look at everything that we had this morning we wanted to talk about. We talked about the conservative dating events, what it's like to... Oh, Joe, the war on the drug cartels. Donald Trump, as a neocon... Talk to us about how you feel when you see Trump randomly bombing Venezuelan boats.
That one got me. I didn't see that one coming. I mean, look, these imported drugs, especially the ones that are routed through China that make it to our shores, I mean, they're aimed not just at poisoning the masses. It's about destabilizing our society by putting a bunch of real bad chemicals in the hands of a lot of people. I'm not shedding any tears.
So but here's the thing. Trump notified Congress of what he calls armed conflict status. So his legal cover is the same framework as the Bushy post 9/11 terrorism laws. And they've already deployed the Navy throughout the Caribbean. Mexico's freaking out about it. What do you think? Cartels destabilizing the United States? Do it? Use the authority that's granted? Or should he have to have Congress to have what he essentially amounts to a declaration of war? Your thoughts?
I mean, Congress would be great. It's always nice to see like the different branches exercise their correct powers. Again, you're not going to see me shedding a tear when the bombs are hitting the boats laden with the stuff that's killing people and just upending communities left and right. I spent a lot of time in West Virginia. Everyone knows somebody who's basically, died from fentanyl and other drugs. It's no tears for the people who are bringing that poison to our shores. That said, it would be great if he went through Congress.
I'm struggling with this as a libertarian because I believe if you're an adult, you can put whatever you want in your body. And I don't know how I feel about drug cartels. I don't know that they should be illegal.
Do you agree, Joe, with libertarians, though, that like consenting adults should be able to do as they please, provided they harm no one else, while under the influence of these intoxicating substances? Or do you not go that far?
Ooh, yeah, I don't go quite that far. Like there are some things that are beyond the scope of just normal healthy. And you see what these drugs do to the communities as a whole. It's not just the people who use them. It's their kids are impacted. Their families are impacted.
Cocaine? No cocaine. Marijuana?
I think marijuana is harmless personally, but
shrooms? Shrooms? Can we do shrooms?
I have a straight up phobia of all mushrooms. Ban them all.
Okay, so banning shrooms.
All. I don't want to see that on the salad bar.
Acid?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't been exposed to the acid bunch much, but
they're a very happy group of people. Usually you find them at concerts, EDM style concerts.
Isn't there some sort of research that shows it might help with things like PTSD? Like, I think this stuff should be studied.
Psilocybin. The mushrooms. Those help.
Yeah. And like there is medical grade fentanyl, and apparently it's good stuff for people who are in horrific pain, accidents, recovering from surgeries. There is legal uses for all this, but just like, let's grab the stuff off the boat, import it to middle America, and just press it into random pills and distribute it in the streets. That's not okay.
We're getting booze from Vincent Mammo, who says
Vincent Mammo. Well, he's a libertarian, isn't he?
Cheer.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to answer to Vince. He says, "Boo! Mushrooms are awesome." He says. And he says hello, by the way.
Well, yeah, we have some
hi,
friends.
Vince.
Avens O'Brien, she has a business.
She's got a whole shroom business, and apparently she has like a partnership with Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Yeah, to bring shrooms. So I don't know. I've never done shrooms.
I don't think shrooms are actually that big of a deal. I just very personally, any mushrooms just freak me out in general.
Yes.
And I mean all mushrooms, salad bar mushrooms. Get me out of there.
I do think that we should legalize recreational cocaine.
Should we get rid of the cartels, though? That's my libertarian question.
Yeah,
How
but-
do libertarians feel about cartels?
Well, here's the thing. You do have to kind of fight a war on two fronts. You can't allow violent, terroristic Mexican cartel members come into the United States and traffic children and literally poison people and commit violent acts of terrorism.
Because that's
You have to fight
violating
that.
our safety, our rights. Exactly.
You have to fight that.
You have to protect commerce. And going back to how we started this all out, all these cartels are crazy death cult types too. And there's just no value on human life. And that's the kind of stuff you got to fight. This is, it's not just like a war on something that is unregulated and does something to you.
Right.
It's the people who go ahead and murder, intimidate, and all the way into that commerce. That's not okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the other question, which is, could the cartels go away if the drugs were legalized here in the United States? I think that there is a strong argument for that, and there is strong evidence for that. I read a really interesting story about the mafia, the Italian mafia, and there was a story of one branch of the Cosa Nostra, I think, that had started up their pizza business, as a money and drug laundering front, but they found that they were actually making more money off of pizza. And that they actually started up a whole pizza chain that was hugely successful, and they just dropped the criminal aspect of their business because they were like, we're legit. We sell good pizza.
We don't need this anymore.
So, honestly, what you really do need is economic opportunities, right? You need to make it expensive to do crime, and you need to make it cheap to do business. So a lot of this has to do with the economic incentives. Because young people, they go and join the cartel because that's literally the only job that they have, right? They are intimidated into it. So without some kind of a war on the economic front, but that would be a war on regulations, a war on taxes, the war on small businesses that's happening, you're not going to be able to degrade the power of the cartels if people don't have better opportunities, in my mind.
Yeah. And real quick, when California went ahead and legalized marijuana and people celebrated, and then they turn around and taxed the bejesus out of it, regulated the heck out of it. It got bad on that front. And what it actually did was, in California, it spurred even more cartel activity, because suddenly there was a legal gray area for the product to exist. They were trafficking human beings, slave labor, into our national parks and state parks to do illegal grows, bringing just horrific chemicals that were getting dumped in streams and rivers and killing wildlife. Game wardens actually got very involved in this fight. It wound up increasing crime because even though it was, to some extent legalized, it was so regulated that it's even propped up this illegal market. Right. That's just awful.
It's 8:54, which means it's time to say goodbye. Not overall entirely, but it's time to say goodbye to Joseph, who's done a fantastic job.
Yes.
Filling in for Justin. Big shoes to fill. Joe, is there anything that you want to share with our audience, or plug, or anything you think we missed, or what that you'd like to say before we let you go today?
I would just like to say thank you for having me, and you can find me on X at the Trot Spot, and look forward to staying in touch and hopefully being invited back. I'll have some spicier hot takes.
Oh, I
can't believe you're just sitting there holding that fat man. I love it.
Oh, it's really comforting, honestly.
She has become death, destroyer of worlds.
It's my emotional support bomb.
You and the Palestinians.
Hey,
All right.
Hey, Joe, love you, bud.
Love you.
Love you too, bud.
Hope to see you soon.
See ya.
Have a good one. That's Joseph. That's amazing. We appreciate Joseph the most. He's the greatest. We appreciate his friendship,
We do.
Nelson says, is gaming night on for tonight? Hell yeah, it is. Tonight at 8 p.m. Central? Yeah, it is.
Yes. And we have to do a giveaway right now.
We're not going anywhere. Trust me. We got the sad music, but it's not. Don't be too sad because we are going to do a giveaway. And we're going to give away to one random person that I will pick from the list of our monthly subscribers. We have the people who are in the email list from the Wake Up America Show website. We have the people who have the little red castle next to their names. And the person who has won our free copy of Javier Milei, the Afuera President, is...
Spanish R.
Is Grizz Cheese.
Yay! So let us know if you want the Spanish or the English version of the book of Milei,
yes.
the Afuera President.
So here's how it works. For those who are our monthly subscribers, you're entered into the monthly drawings. Today's monthly drawing was we give away a free copy of Javier Milei, the Afuera President. So, Grizz, here's what you do, bud. Send us a text, 573-319-1586. I know we've got your address, so if you want to just tell us what your real name is, because we forget with the usernames. I'm pretty sure we've got it from the Grift Shop.
Oh, I've talked to him on the phone before.
But if you want us to go...
I know this.
Yeah, if you wanted to go to like a different address or wherever you want it to go, if you want to like send it to a cousin or a niece or something, just send us the name and the address of where you want us to send it in the text message line there. Don't worry, it's secure. 573-319-1586. You can either keep it for yourself, or we can send it to a family member who has a little child who would like to read it. So there you go. Congratulations. And now it's time, Stephanie, for the bonus content.
The cheesy poo.
The cheesy poo. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to a very quick little break, but you don't go away. When we come back, the angry cheesy poof will join us. And then we've got the bonus content. We'll say our goodbyes. We'll play the mini documentary before we leave today. Love you guys. Thank you for all your financial support. And otherwise, have a wonderful day. We'll be right back. Real quick, the Angry Cheesy Poof. It's the Wake Up America show. What are we on?
The For Liberty Network. Be free.
All right, folks, you heard the news that Cheetos and other snack brands are planning to phase out artificial dyes like Yellow 5 and Red 40 to appeal to so-called health-conscious consumers. This sounds great until you realize that they're doing this not because of real science, but because of Karen at the Mahab Moms Against Having Any Fun group. She watched a TikTok, and now they think cheese dust is giving the kids autism. So today's breakfast theater features a beloved but furious national treasure who's had enough of being demonized for being delicious. Please welcome a real cheesy puff.
You wanna phase me out? You think I'm the problem? Oh, hell no! You little conspiracy ghouls think it's the dye that made your kids fat and weird? I've been sitting in your pantry for 20 years, quietly minding my own cheese-dusted business, and now suddenly I'm the villain. Honey, the real toxin is the cranberry and lavender vape that you chugged through all 3 trimesters. Oh no! Yellow 6 is destroying our children. No! You are! You and your crunchy TikTok cult of pseudoscience gluten shamans. You got a C- in 10th grade chemistry, and now you think you can read peer-reviewed journals? Lady, the only thing you reviewed was a BuzzFeed quiz on what real housewife are you? I'm just doing my research. Great, your research included a 40-minute Candace Owens podcast, a Telegram channel with a Pepe the Frog logo, and your cousin Brittany who sells placenta smoothies at farmers markets. You think the Jews did 9/11 and Yellow 5 causes transgenderism. I am a snack. I am not your enemy. I am the most honest thing in your entire kitchen. And now the corporations are folding to you psychopaths. PepsiCo, I'm looking at you. You bent the knee to the schizoids because natural colorings test better in focus groups. They're taking away my glow. The sacred Chiefs Puff Orange. Banished. Who's next? You gonna Canada-ize my flavor profile too? Give me some sad little turmeric aftertaste and call it cheddar-ish infusion? Listen, if I wanted to taste like poutine and despair, I'd move to Toronto! Don't bring your limp, bilingual, bisexual snack energy down here. I like my cheese unapologetic and my snacks American. I can't believe this. They even made me audition new natural puff flavors this week. You want to hear them? Here they are. Broccoli burst puff. Tastes like depression. Or, try our free-range chicken puff. Tastes like sadness. Or, hey, why not try our blueberry goji antioxidant puff? Gives me an identity crisis. Or how about our CBD calm cheddar? Mellowed me out so hard I forgot who Chester Cheetah even was, man. Wow. None of them slap. Not like the OG. Not like me. And all this because parents want someone to blame. You fed your kid nothing but Lunchables and screen time for a decade, and now you're shocked he's got the social skills of a Roomba. Sorry, got the cheese dust. Maybe you should have looked at your own gene pool instead of mine. Like, was it really the Cheetos? Or was it the fact that Grandma Sharon still thinks rubbing Vicks Vapor Rub on your chest cures everything but communism? Or that your kid's father sells Crypto and X and eats Hot Pockets raw? I'm not the problem. I'm not some Monsanto demon engineered to attack your neurodivergent toddler with chemicals. I'm a puff with purpose, a puff with passion, a puff with 37% sodium per serving and 0 guilt. Yeah. The truth is, I'm part of a balanced breakfast. Balanced because I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. You want to fix your kid's brain? Less TikTok, more parenting. So much cheese dust. I'm sick of getting canceled so you can feel better about being lazy and uneducated. Yeah, we did. Number 5 didn't break your family. You did that all by yourself. So go ahead. Remove the dyes. Soften the puff. Naturalize me. But just know, you're not getting a better snack. You're just getting a blander world. One where cheese puffs whisper instead of crunch. Enjoy your organic kale puff, Karen. I'll be here in the shadows. My orange dust and my synthetic flavor and my truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cheese puff. Stephanie, he was angry.
I don't think I'm going to be feeding Hazel any cheese puffs anymore.
Thanks so much for tuning in and watching the Wake Up America show. Check out our Javier Milei, the Afuera President, on Amazon today. And get it in Espanol if you prefer. Si vous préférez.
Yo hablo español. Sí.
Stephanie, is there anything we missed today? Anything we should say before we go today? Any announcements? Letting people know?
man, we've done it all. We gave out the gift to Grizz Cheese. He won the book, Milei, the Afuera President. We released our book, Milei, the Afuera President. Please get it on Amazon, the English or Spanish version. Check out all of our new products that we've been adding this week. Oh my goodness. There's just so much.
So much great stuff over at the Grift Shop at forlibertyshop.com. Thanks for all you guys do. We'll see you tonight at 8 p.m. Central right here at rumble.com/AP for Liberty on the Freedom Arcade. We'll play some games, hang out with our friends on Discord.
I think I found Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader that we can play like group style. Yes. That would actually be really fun.
If you want to game with us tonight, 8 p.m. Central, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Me, Steffi, and anybody who wants to join. But you got to be a member of our channel. So it is pay gated. So make sure you become a Rumble monthly subscriber. And you guys will be gained access to our premium Rumble content tonight at 8 p.m. Central. It's the Freedom Arcade. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys right back again here tomorrow. Or right back here tonight at 8 p.m. On the Freedom Arcade on the For Liberty Network.
Be free.
Well-attended press event in September, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced a bold new initiative to identify the causes and treatments for autism. Citing research suggesting a possible link between taking acetaminophen during pregnancy and neurodevelopmental disorders, including autistic spectrum disorder, ASD, the initiative included the National Institutes of Health spending $50 million more on research into acetaminophen and other possible environmental causes of what Kennedy called an epidemic of autism. Set aside the fact that the so-called epidemic of autism does not result from a surge in actual cases, but from a broadening of the diagnosis over the past 50 years, from what psychiatrists in the 1970s called a form of childhood schizophrenia, marked by early social withdrawal, impaired language, and rigid repetitive behaviors, to today's ASD. This new understanding includes highly capable, sometimes gifted individuals who simply interact with others in unusual or atypical ways. Additionally, because social, educational, and healthcare services are now more accessible to children with ASD, increased parental awareness and more screening by pediatricians, school psychologists and educators have led to greater detection. That nuance seems lost on Kennedy, who treats autism as if it were an infection or a tumor. But government bureaucrats don't usually do nuance very well. The scientific research Kennedy cited to support his suspicion of acetaminophen's role was all conducted by clinical researchers, unconnected to this administration or political agendas. This behavior isn't unique to Kennedy. Politicians of every stripe can't resist the urge to hitch themselves to science, claiming breakthroughs that are already underway or steering research toward pet causes. For example, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to unlock cures for pediatric cancer by allocating $100 million in federal funds to improve the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in cancer research. But AI is already transforming medical research by analyzing genomics, imaging, and clinical records to improve diagnostics, accelerate drug discovery, and tailor treatments for patients. This progress results from technological advancement and necessity, not government intervention. The government can, at best, influence the pace. At worst, it distorts progress for political show. Trump's executive order wasn't about leadership. It was about wanting to be seen at the front of the parade. When the government involves itself in the scientific debate, usually through funding initiatives, it distorts researchers' agendas and direction. Medical scientist Terence Keeley sees the food pyramid as a textbook case of government distorting science. When the 1977 Senate Select Committee on Nutrition and Human Needs adopted Ansel Keys' unproven theory linking saturated fat to heart disease, it encouraged Americans to replace fats with carbs. That policy change contributed to the rise of trans fats and coincided with increasing rates of obesity and diabetes. Keeley argues that when the government involves itself in research, it doesn't just fund science, it influences it, often in ways that mislead the public. The food pyramid illustrates the disastrous consequences that can result when diet policy is hijacked by politicians. The same risk looms now with autism research. Will the White House's suspicion of acetaminophen skew inquiry away from more valuable discoveries? The fact sheet that White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt issued, titled "Evidence Suggests a Link Between Acetaminophen and Autism," would certainly lead readers to draw that conclusion. The fact sheet cites 5 studies to support its claim. 2 of them, a Harvard study and a Mount Sinai study, are actually the same study. One of the authors was part of Harvard's faculty, and the other was affiliated with the Mount Sinai School of Medicine. A third study examined acetaminophen levels in the meconium, stool, of newborns, which makes it hard to determine the timing and duration of exposure. The remaining 2 studies had similar limitations and involved cohorts that might not be representative of the population. The fact sheet also cited a consensus statement by clinicians urging their colleagues to be cautious and judicious when recommending acetaminophen to pregnant patients with fever, to which the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology responded, "The authors are not recommending anything counter to what is already done by obstetrician gynecologists when prescribing acetaminophen for a given clinical condition. In other words, thanks, we've got this." Glaringly absent from Leavitt's fact sheet was a crucial study from Sweden, published in 2024, which followed nearly 2.5 million children born in Sweden between 1995 and 2019, using sibling controls. It found no evidence that acetaminophen used during pregnancy was associated with autism or intellectual disability. Its conclusion stated that acetaminophen during pregnancy was not associated with children's risk of autism, ADHD, or intellectual disability. As the saying goes, he who pays the piper calls the tune. President Dwight D. Eisenhower cautioned that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific technological elite. That warning rings true today. Researchers who depend on federal grants know their chances for funding shrink if their work runs counter to the prevailing narrative. Keeley argues that government funding of science is not only unnecessary but often counterproductive. He points to history, where science thrived under private patronage and market demand long before bureaucracies took over. Public funding, he says, crowds out private investment, replacing risk-taking with conformity and steering research toward politically advantageous or safe projects. Instead of speeding up discovery, government agencies slow it down by forcing scientists to chase grants rather than pursue ideas. According to Keeley, status, recognition, and peer competition naturally drive innovation, and when left alone, markets and private actors are more than capable of supporting it. What we know so far about the link between prenatal acetaminophen and autism, that it remains inconclusive, is based on independent clinical studies, not influenced by a government agenda. Without government interference, these studies might find definitive proof that prenatal acetaminophen causes ASD, or they could lead to dead ends, encouraging scientists to explore other possibilities. Scientific research is a process of trial and error. In a free society, government has a limited but legitimate role in public health, protecting people when one person's actions threaten the lives or safety of others. Too often, however, government directs research and policy toward personal health decisions that individuals can make for themselves, with expert advice if they choose. When a public health agency issues opinions on personal health, those opinions quickly gain the force of mandates, disclaimers notwithstanding. History shows how badly this can go, from the food pyramid fiasco to the heavy-handed COVID-19 response that silenced dissent. Good public health policy requires humility, precision, and honesty. If we want a healthier future for our children, we must reject ready-made conclusions and insist on evidence over ideology. When the state dictates both the questions science asks and the answers it offers, it converts knowledge into propaganda and health into a matter of politics. We don't need Washington to endorse a favored theory or influence the outcome. We need honest, independent science that can follow the evidence wherever it leads. The Swedish study that challenges the acetaminophen story shows researchers are capable of figuring this out without political interference. Parents deserve straight answers, not government-produced fiction. So thanks for the offer, Mr. Secretary. But when it comes to understanding autism, we've got this.